Today, I'm going to be making pumpkin magic bars. This recipe is from thecountrycook.net, so I will put a link in the description below so you can click on it right below this video. If you're interested, you can print this out and make these for yourself. There are ingredients for the crust, and then there's ingredients for the toppings. I'm going to split this up and just give you the ingredients for the crust first. You will need... Their directions say a half a cup of unsalted butter. I'm using salted butter. So I'm using a half a cup of salted butter, and it needs to be softened to room temperature. That is 1 stick. You need 1/3 cup packed light brown sugar, 1 cup of all-purpose flour, a half a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, and we use the McCormick is what we bought. And then if you're using unsalted butter, you need to add a pinch of salt. I would just as soon use just the regular butter and not have to use a pinch of salt. So that is up to you. You want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and you want to line an 11 by 17 inch baking dish with foil and spray it with cooking spray and then set it aside. I plan on using parchment paper. We'll see how that turns out. Hopefully it'll be okay. We have a lasagna pan that's a bigger pan, but since it wanted an 11 by 7 inch pan, this is a smaller, and so this is from LTD. I don't know if anybody's ever ordered from LTD, but I have my parchment paper out here and ready to use, but my clips, these sides on here are too thick, so my clips wouldn't fit on here. So when I get to the part of putting the crust in the bottom, I'll just have to work with it the best I can. So the first thing we want to do is, in a bowl, we want to cream together the butter and the light brown sugar until it's fluffy, and that'll take about 2 minutes. So to this, we want to add our pumpkin pie spice and our cup of flour. And mix it until it's combined with no dry patches. I'll probably scrape it down once in the middle. Okay, so they're using foil. We'll see if parchment paper is okay for this recipe. It might not be. I'm gonna try it though. So you want to pour this in here, and we're gonna press it into the bottom because this is our crust. This is gonna be our bottom layer on our bars. Bake this on 350 for 15 minutes until it no longer looks raw and is slightly browned. And while this is in the oven baking for the 15 minutes, I'll come back and tell you what you need for the top. So for the toppings for this recipe, you need 1 cup of canned pumpkin pie filling. This is the Libby's Easy Pumpkin Pie Mix. Walmart only had the great big cans. This is a 30-ounce can, but you're gonna have a lot left. So even after you've taken a whole cup out of there, you're gonna have a lot left. So try to get the smaller can if you can, the regular size can, if they make them that way. You need an 11-ounce bag of butterscotch chips. This is the Nestle Toll House. This is the whole bag. You're gonna use it. You need 1 cup of toffee bits. This is the Heath English toffee bits. It says Bits o' Brickle on the bag. You need 2 cups of chopped pecans. These are the great value. They're calling them cookie pieces pecans because they're little bitty, but this is approximately 2 cups. We're going to use the whole thing. And then you need 14 ounces of sweetened condensed milk. So that is this entire can. So this has come out of the oven, and what you want to do is spread the whole cup of the pumpkin pie mix on top. Spread it out. And now you want to layer your butterscotch, then your toffee, and then your 2 cups of pecans. So I'm going to use some but not the whole bag. And then I have some of my toffee. And then some of my pecans. And then I'm going to add more, the rest of my bag of butterscotch and the rest of my toffee and then the rest of my pecans. And now I'm going to pour my whole can of sweetened condensed milk over the top. Trying to cover up the nuts as well as I can because we're going to put this back in the oven and we're going to bake it for 30 to 35 minutes. And I'm trying not to leave the nuts exposed because I don't want them to burn. So I'm going to put these in for 32 minutes and then we'll be back. So this is how the bars look. They're not cut into bars yet, but this is how it looks. It is bubbling around the edges. I'm going to leave these in the directions say to let them cool completely before you try to cut them. So this will probably take several hours to cool. I'm gonna leave them right here and then we'll come back. Okay, this has been sitting for like an hour and 34 minutes. So just gonna pull it out. Okay, now you're supposed to get 15 bars. I'm just gonna cut it like I would normally cut it and not worry about the serving size.
You do one more, you get 15?
Well, that worked out. That was just luck because that's how I normally would have done it anyway. So, let's see. Did an M piece, but that's okay. And that is how that looks. You can see that pumpkin layer in there. Okay, this says, if you are looking for that perfect fall treat, you can't go wrong with these pumpkin magic bars. Layers of goodness and flavor throughout every bite. It says they are 477 calories each if you get 15. So it may be that much. I don't know. You'd have to weigh them. Yes. Okay. Oh, and
like a crispy top.
Ooh, yeah. The bottom.
No, the top is.
Oh, was the top crispy? Oh, the edge. The edge is kind of crispy.
Like this. Look.
Oh, yeah.
This whole top is like a crispy crumb topping. Like a pie crumb.
You really taste the pumpkin. It's funny because you smell the butterscotch.
That's the first thing I noticed.
Mm-hmm. You smell butterscotch, but you really, I think the pumpkin flavor comes through.
It does. I like that crust too. It's not really a crispy crust, but it's not soggy or wet either. And I really like the top, the crumble on the top. Has it got pecans in it?
Yes.
Because I'm getting a lot of pecans when you eat that top part.
Lots and lots of pecans. I love the texture of those. Because with the butterscotch, they're kind of gooey. And then you have the gooey pumpkin. And then you have the toffee bits in there. And I'm sure the toffee bits add a little texture. So the toffee bits...
There was toffee in there.
Yeah, I'm sure the toffee bits are adding a lot of sweetness.
Yeah, I think that's butterscotch or too. There's something in there that's a little... It's almost grainy. But not quite. I don't know if it's the crust, it's just the very top layer of the crust, or if it's the actual pumpkin itself. Having a little bit of a grainy, not bad, like it's not sandy or anything like that. It's just a different texture than what I was expecting.
I'm not getting that at all. So I'm just getting the pecan texture. And I'm so glad I used those little like chips, pecan chips, because they just go further, so that you're using the same amount, but you make sure that you get tons and tons of pecans in every single bite.
It's whatever's above the crust and below the crunchy stuff. So that's the butterscotch and the pumpkin, maybe?
You have a layer of the bar, but then you have the whole layer of pumpkin, and then you have...
I think it's the pumpkin as well.
After the pumpkin, you did butterscotch and toffee and pecan. And then over top of the entire thing, you put a can of sweetened condensed milk. It was actually very, very, very easy to make.
Yeah, that slight grainy texture is the pumpkin.
Ah, okay.
It's not bad. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just letting you know. That's very good. It's very sweet.
So what would you say,
I think the butterscotch really makes it sweet.
Okay, I do too. I think the butterscotch and the pumpkin are the stars of the show.
Yeah. Unless you get a big bite of the crunchy part on top, then it's the pecans.
Yes, and I do love the pecans.
Oh yeah, they add a huge amount of texture to it. Because you wouldn't want them without that crunchy top, because it would be kind of softer texture, except for the crust. And like I said, it's not crunchy, it's firmer. Yeah, I like that. It's really, really good. The aftertaste I'm left over with, though, is butterscotch.
I can see that. Yeah, definitely. So if you're wanting something like perfect, like all pumpkin.
Yeah, if you're looking for a pumpkin pie-like flavor.
You know what you could do, though, is they make pumpkin spice chips. You could substitute those pumpkin chips for the butterscotch, or usually during the fall and winter, at least, they have usually cinnamon. So you could even do, if you want a cinnamon flavor, you could even substitute the cinnamon for the butterscotch. I like the butterscotch, but
it makes it over the top sweet.
But you could, if you wanted like all pumpkin, you could substitute for those pumpkin spice chips. It says once they're completely cool, cut them into bars and then store them in the refrigerator until serving. So I guess now that I've got them cut, if we hadn't have wanted to try it right away, you would leave them in the refrigerator.
Yeah, like if you're gonna save them for a gathering or party or something.
I don't know, I can't find on here like how long they last. I don't think that's going to be an issue anyway, because I don't think you're going to have these around for long.
No,
I think
you wouldn't. You probably wouldn't want to make these more than a couple days before the party anyway, or gathering of kind of whatever you have together. I would think that at least don't last, a week. I would think. You would think so,
but if they're around that long, because they're so sweet,
they're very good.
You'll have to let me know. These are pumpkin magic bars. We have years and years ago, we did a recipe of like 7-layer magic bars, and those had coconut. Do you remember doing those? I think we were in the old kitchen, so it's an old video. I think so, before we renovated this. But I've done the 7-layer magic bars, and I've done these, but I don't think we've done any other ones. I would like to have one that's specialty, like peanut butter.
I knew she was going to say that. I knew peanut butter was going to be somewhere in that sentence.
Peanut butter and white chocolate. So
yeah, that could be good.
Yes, just like I like fudge. Peanut butter, white chocolate, caramel. Yeah, that's for me. Over the top sweet. But this is a really, really good recipe. It's easy. So I think the longer you let it sit before you cut it, the better it's going to stay together. But this stayed together fine.
Oh yeah. It's not running or anything like that.
So I will have that link for you below. And thanks for watching.